We must unite or perish, just like it said. There's so many things that we have to do to make our lives better. There's so many things we need to do to make our culture better. Tonight is Wednesday night, and I'm bringing you a show that's about the truth. And we all think that it should be the truth. But I'm here to tell you what's happening in America today, it ain't about the truth. So let's dig in and try and find out what we really are doing here in this country when it comes to truth. Now, if you have some comments or something you want to say, why don't you can text me or call. You can call me at 210-872-2261. I want to thank you for viewing on Sunday. We had a record showing, so I appreciate your presence, and I appreciate you recognizing the Black News Network, because we are going to be here for a while. Just know that on Wednesdays, we like to lay back, take it easy, and just shoot the doo-doo and have fun. But don't forget, we broadcast every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. And that is where the firecrackers pop. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the Black News Network, the real voice of Black people. The real voice of Black people, because it is what it is. This is from the desk of the emissary. I'm your host, Warren Smith Bay, broadcasting with the War Report. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. Let's dive in. It ain't about the truth when it comes to our legal system here in America. You know, I think about it all the time, how we've fought for hundreds of years to try and balance the playing field, but it'll never happen. Because it ain't about the truth. You know, if the truth be told, you know, we would have everything we set out to have here in America if the truth would be told. But we all know that it ain't about the truth. It's about who has the biggest stake in the fight. And as you know, we have always played, we can't help but be righteous as a Black person. That's what we do. We are righteous people. And it's in our DNA to do the right thing. And if we try not to doing the right thing, it really is something that we worry about a lot, because it's in our DNA. And like I said, we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to be like the devil. But I don't even know how to get down deep into being righteous, because when I say it ain't about the truth, you and I both know that it ain't, because you can see, as well as I can see, what is happening here in our country. If you watch all these mainstream news channels like CNN or CNBC or Fox News, they're going to tell you all this bull crap. And if you notice how many times on a Fox News program they say President Trump, you'd be shocked. Every one of these supporters, when they get on the news, I don't care what channel they on, they are going to say President Trump. They're not going to say former President Trump. They're going to say President Trump. And I'm telling you this because it ain't about the truth. And I'm sure you've heard, if you tell a lie long enough, people will start to believe. And I think that's where we are right now. People have lied and lied and lied so much. They've lied at the highest position in the land. And it puts us in a very dire situation because if you can get away with 34 felony convictions, 34, and not be sentenced to at least 15 years on up in jail, then what kind of country are we living in when the justice system for them is 100% different than the justice system for us? You know, I know black people that have been convicted with an ounce of marijuana and got 15 years in prison. That doesn't make sense. It does not make sense, but it has happened too many times. Too many of our fellow brothers and sisters have been locked up, and too many of us have been killed. Because it ain't about the truth. How many times have a police officer abused his power and taken advantage of a situation and somebody ended up dead or unalived? And in his report, you were resisting arrest. You showed a sharp object or you went reaching for something. They are so quick to come up with what you did to cause them to shoot your ass dead. Doesn't make sense. They shoot, I've seen them you've seen it too. They shot a black man running away. And then he lied on his police report. Like he was trying to go for his gun and running at the same time. They can tweak the words, but these body cams slowed the killings down a whole lot. I mean, but the problem now is you can't get to the body cam because nobody wants you to see what they see. And then if they let you see it, they're going to edit it before they give it to you. And how you probably don't know a single person that's been able to get that damn body cam and look at what that police officer saw when somebody died. You're not going to get it. And that's the district attorney. The district attorney has the right to release that damn recording. But between the district attorney and the police chief, they in cahoots together and they all create situations where you are the wrong person. You're the victim, but you wrong just because you're the victim. Why are you in this situation? You should have had your ass at home. But your officer, the one pulled the trigger and killed my people. You know, it is so sad that we are in the position we are in 2024. You know, you'd think that we would be so far beyond this point and we'll be living in our own communities and our own cultures and our own society and doing our own damn thing. We won't have no Indian damn stores on the corner selling all kind of bullshit to my people. We won't have that. I despise those stores that are in our neighborhood. The liquor stores on down. We don't own none of that shit, but our money go into those stores. And I preach every single day, don't spend your money in those Arabian or whatever the hell they are stores, because they full of shit. Don't stop buying your damn hair in them freaking Asian stores. Don't spend your money because they don't spend a damn dime. How many times you seen a damn Chinese in Chapman Chicken or a Korean in one of our in Basie? They don't support us. You hardly ever see a Mexican in Chapman Chicken or Basie. You hardly ever see that. But it's like that because we think everybody is okay and we have the bigger heart and we want to be the person who tells and lives the truth. And we screw ourselves to the freaking grave because we are the righteous ones. And we are. Can't help that. But a righteous person got to be equally balanced. Because you had John the Baptist and John the Evangelist, and they were both on extreme spectrums of the global life, of life. One, John the Baptist, he tries to convince you to be a good Samaritan and to be a Christian and to join his harem and do what he's doing and help spread the gospel. And if you don't do it, he don't care. But then you got John the Evangelist, when he tell you that Jesus is coming, then and you say bullshit, then you can consider yourself dead. So like I said, if you didn't like what he said, he's gonna kill you. You better like what he said from John the Evangelist, but you can do that with John the Baptist, but not with him. As us as a people, black people, we are so quick to think that everything is going to be all right. I almost want to damn cry sometimes when I see the gullibility of our people. You know, if you look, just go back in history and just look at how these people, our black people, used to sit on the plantation, and you know they were all God-fearing people, and they were honest and trustworthy, but they would get screwed into the ground. I mean, woman got 5 kids and ain't got no money to feed them because the husband working 80 hours a week, bringing home $25, and they owe that to the damn plantation store. And they still broke and they cannot feed their families. When this man, all he does is work. And that white man got so much damn money. And he won't, I mean, if he just paid what they worked for, then that man could support his family. But he put that man in a situation where he couldn't support his family. And that man was working his ass off, trying to damn. Many of the people that worked on the farm, the men worked themselves to death because trying to support their families, they worked themselves to death because they couldn't make the money to support their families. And the little kids' clothes were just as raggedy, ain't got no shoes, you know, they eating damn newspaper for dinner. You know, with newspaper with salt and pepper. They making motherfucking, they making mayonnaise sandwiches, sugar water, tomato sandwiches. That's what dinner is that night. And you ain't got a choice. But you know, when I even went through some of that, when I had to make a mayonnaise sandwich, man, that mayonnaise was good. That was some good stuff. You make a mayonnaise sandwich back then and you don't know no better. That is beautiful. I love it. I got 2 slices of white bread and some mayonnaise on it. That was good. It was good. And if you ain't had one, you should probably, no, I don't recommend eating that no way. That's how you have to eat sometimes. A mayonnaise sandwich, even a ketchup sandwich was good. These are things that we did to survive because we were being deprived. And as long as we were kept in destitute, as long as we were kept in belief, because we are about the truth, we are about God's gonna make a way and set us free and help us to get out of this situation. And at the same time, here he comes with his damn foot on our necks, not allowing us to do anything. None of us. This is 2024, and people are still making $8 an hour, and that's a damn shame. I mean, in 1970, I was making $6 an hour, which I thought was a whole lot. But I was working my ass off. I only worked there for 1 week, and they still owe me my damn check. I'm going back and get it too. 1 week, and they broke my damn back in that damn cotton gin. My job was to take a 500-pound bale that get kicked out of this compress onto a little ass cart and roll it out to the truck. Wasn't hard. I had brakes, but the hell, getting that damn thing up that hill wasn't no joke. And I was like 100 pounds maybe, pushing that damn big ass bale. Don't let it fall off the cart. You screwed. Because ain't nobody gonna help you. Because it's all about the truth. For us, we believe in righteousness. We believe in truth. We believe that we're inherently good people. But what has that gotten us? We have spent our life trying to do right, trying to go to church on Sunday, trying to be righteous in every way. And they have spent their lives getting rich on our backs. All we have to do is stand up. That's all we have to do. Stand up. If we stand up, then we are basically taking control of our lives. And everything we do ain't gonna be about the truth. It's not. If you think everything you gonna do in life is all about the truth, then you need some psychiatric help, because everything ain't about the truth. Tell me you ain't stole no hamburger meat out of HEB or Sunflower grocery store or Kroger. Tell me you ain't left the store with some change when they gave you more change than you were supposed to get. Tell me you ain't done that. Because it ain't about the truth. The truth is you take it back. If you found $100,000 on the side of the road, what would you do? Are you giving it back? Are you taking it to the police and say, hey, I found this on the side of the road. Here it is. And they give you $20 for your service. You can't be that gullible that you think they gonna turn it in. You just made somebody a happy person, because the money you found that God left there for you, you took it and gave it to somebody else. How stupid can you be? We have to learn that what's right or what's good for the gander is good for the goose, or whatever that is. That saying makes sense, because our lives are not about the truth. If it was about the truth, we'd all be 100% healthy. We'd all eat great meals every day and not be obese. This is the obesest country in the world. And it all is in our communities. We have to realize that our lives are more important than anybody else's lives. And if I saw that $100,000 on the side of the road, you can best and rest believe that I ain't damn turning it in. I'll be damned if I go turn it in. God left that there for me. Why didn't nobody else find it? You know, we go to church and we listen to our preacher, and he wants us to believe that it's in heaven, that everything is in heaven. Look up to the ceiling and it's in heaven. But we have people dying all the time, and only thing we can do is speculate that they are going to heaven. We don't really know. A belief is something that you don't know. And that is what we bank on, our belief. And by banking on that belief that everything we want and everything gonna be all right once we get to heaven, you're right exactly where they want you to be, because now they can make your earthly life hell, because you're waiting to get to heaven for everything to be all right. Why can't it be all right right here and right damn now? Why can't it be all right? Because it ain't about the truth. That's why. It's about whatever it takes to keep you in a vulnerable state. You know, we've been pacified, liquefied. You know, it's been so many things done to us to keep us dormant, like fucking dead dirt. They don't want to see us grow. They don't want to see us get bigger. They don't want to see us pull together as a community. They don't, when I say they, I don't mean just the white man. I mean the entire country. Because it gets to a point where everything you look back on, like the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Emancipation Proclamation, the Liberty Bell, all that stuff that says things a certain way, so you don't realize that they telling you, we ain't talking about you. You ain't got nothing to do with this shit, so why the hell are you worried about it? For instance, the U.S. Constitution was being drafted, right? And they wanted to write the word slave or slavery into the Constitution. The southern states, because they wanted to abolish slavery, the southern states threatened to leave and not be part of the Constitution. But 2/3 of the signers of the Constitution owned slaves at the time. So they decided that they were not going to use the word slave. They were going to use slavery. And they didn't use it in a context where it was going to be eradicated. They didn't use it in that type of context. They used it in a way that it doesn't have any significant ties to anything. And they did this on purpose. When you go back and look at the Emancipation Proclamation and say, damn, man, they talked about slaves and slavery, but they ain't did shit about slaves and slavery. And you think that because Abraham Lincoln did the Emancipation Proclamation, he's our savior. That's the biggest lie ever told, because it ain't about the truth. Why did he do it? He only did it because the Union Army was losing the damn war against the South. They were losing. So in order for him to get a turn of tide for the war, he had to do something irrational for the white folks. And they all agreed that the only way we can win this war is to start taking in black soldiers or training them to be in our army. Over 200,000 black men and women participated in the Civil War. But you don't see that in history. You don't see that anywhere. Over 200,000. The only time you see it is on TV, like the Fighting 54. Even to this day, not to this day, when they went to World War II, the Black Tank Battalion, I really don't remember the number, the name of the tank battalion, but General George C. Patton left our tank battalion in the field for 180 days in Germany. 180 days. And then this was with minimal resupply. Minimal. Half the time they didn't have rounds to shoot. They were shooting their guns, their handguns. They left them there 180 days. But the difference is this tank battalion killed more Germans, conquered more cities, than any other tank battalion under George C. Patton or any other tank battalion anywhere. They were like the best of the best. And the French, they had French officers, by the way. The French was in awe because they fought so diligently and they won so many battles that at the end of World War II, when they were on their way back to the marshalling place where everybody was about to go, pulling everybody back in, all the units and the tank battalions and everything, that when they got all the way to the it was, I don't know what the name of the city was, but they got all the way there. And the general told the white folks to step aside and let them come through. And they allowed that black tank battalion to be the very first people to walk into that camp. Now, what does that say about it? So right now, that they finally trying to give them, they making everybody know that these fellas are the baddest fellas on the ground right now. They need to lead the way into this camp. So they let those black folks go first. But on the same note, on Klinsner, I can't think of his name, Klinsner, I think that's what it is. Klinsner wrote a letter to the French officers telling them that be very proud of what your black soldiers did because they did a damn good job. Great job, good job. However, it has come to our attention that you're starting to treat the black people like they are our equals. These are people that just got through fighting. Many of them died, and the few that survived came back, and the French officers were treating them like good people. But nobody wanted to acknowledge the big elephant in the room, the black people. So when they wrote this letter to the French commanders, they said, do not treat the blacks like they are our equals, because they are not. You're only going to make the situation worse for them here in America, because they're going to think they can do with us what they do with you, and they can't, because they niggas. And you need to start treating them like they niggas. Get them back in the custom of being the way they supposed to be here in the USA. They told the French officer that, and I have the letter that Army general wrote to the French officers, telling them to back off, because the French didn't give a damn. They were messing with them white women and doing all kind of stuff, and the French didn't care. But America was sitting back watching all this stuff and saying, we need to get these niggas back under control. The ones that came from World War II. And at the same time, they were giving all the white veterans homes, VA benefits, giving them their monies, and black people couldn't get a home loan from the VA when they got back from World War II. They couldn't get anything unless you fought for it. They wouldn't give them their just due. They wouldn't even recognize them. Not a one person got a Bronze Star coming out of that battle. Not one person. Barack Obama awarded the posthumous Bronze Star to somebody who came back. He was like 98 years old. But one guy got his medal and the other 2 or 3 guys got theirs, but they were gone. But it just boils down to such a sad story. You know, we could be the greatest nation on the planet if we could just get past the trickery. everything is about a lie. You've heard it. You tell a lie long enough, people will start to believe it. And that's where we are now. We got so many people up in an uproar because of what's happening. And I put money on it right now. I'm going on record. Today is June 19th, 2024, that Donald Trump will get a slap on the wrist because it ain't about the truth. Any black man show up with 34 felonies, he'll never see the light of day. There's a justice system for black people, and you can try to convince me otherwise as long as you want to, but fact of the matter is, you know it and I know it, but you're in denial. I'm not. And you always want to say, it ain't that bad. All right, you keep thinking that. Wait till it get to your doorstep. Then you tell me it ain't that bad. Then you tell me, can you get some people together so we can go protest? Black people, you need to stop damn marching because that shit ain't solving a damn thing. The only thing it's doing is giving the police the training that they need, that they want. They look forward to beating your damn ass. And you think you out there proving a point because you marching, because they just killed somebody? You ain't getting shit done. But other niggas dying. That's it. The marching need to stop. That come by y'all bullshit need to stop. If you want to fight in this country, in the United States of America, you better be smart enough to fight using their tools, because you can't go to the fight with your tools and expect to match what their tools are. Your tools ain't big enough. You have to use what they have. Use their own system to get what you want. And that's from employment, from compensation, from medical care. Use their systems. Use the laws, use the system. Anything you're facing today, I'll tell you this. Whatever you are facing today on this Juneteenth day, my recommendation to you is to get the law book, get the dictionary, get the encyclopedia, go online and look up your situation online and find out what laws cover that situation. Because those laws will tell you what's going to happen or what you can do about it. If you don't know, ask somebody. There are people that'll help you. It's not that hard. Just do it. Don't think about it. Do it. Because you're not hurting only yourself. You're hurting 100 generations down the line from you. There are going to be so many kids that come through from your bloodline. And all of them are going to have the same structure that you have right now, unless a miracle happens, unless we understand that it ain't about the truth. 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 I can't say it enough. You can come out thinking you righteous and try the truth all the time. It ain't gonna work. You can go to church every Sunday and think you're going to heaven. It ain't gonna work. So as soon as you walk out of that church, you can be gunned down. You can be ran over in the parking lot. You can run over somebody in the parking lot because they cut in front of you and try to stop you from getting out of the damn parking lot. You come out of church sometime, you just like you were when you went in there. What did you get? It's almost like you take your energy, right? And you go inside and you give it to the church to bring the church alive. And you bring the church alive with your energy. And your energy is felt by the pastor and the person who managed that church. Your energy is what makes it better in that church. But then your energy is taken and it's given into a sermon. And that sermon is powerful. But does that sermon put bread on the table? Does that sermon put money in your pocket? And the sooner you realize that this world is about two things, money and survivability, you're going to have to understand that it's about money and survivability. Because if you don't know how to make your money, then you need to ask somebody, because your ass is going to perish. Your family going to perish. Your children going to perish. Your wife going to perish because you don't know how to make money. And you don't have to know anything special. All you have to know is how to get up. If you ain't got no job, every damn day you looking for a job. That's your job, looking for a job. And if you got to walk 25 miles looking for a job, that's what you do. But you don't stop until you get that job. You know, I don't see how you think you can live on the city or the state when you got a decent body and you can do some work. You're young. You can get out the house. You're 37 years old, still at home with your mama. You need to go so you can start supporting your mama and your siblings. Everybody's looking up to you because you're the oldest male in the family. You're there you're the protector. You would sacrifice your life for the people in your house. That's your job. You got to make sure they can eat. You got to make sure they are clothed. You got to make sure they are educated. And they are not going to get educated in public school because it ain't about the truth. The stuff that they teach in public school is not about the truth. What you're learning in public school, it ain't about the truth. It's going to be difficult for you to understand how Columbus discovered America when there were 10 million black people already here. The Seminoles was part of it. There were 10 million black people here. And guess who said? In 1863, Abraham Lincoln said. But in 1415 or something like that, you can get this information out of the book Indian Giver. Who's the author? The author for the book Indian Giver is Jack Weatherford. If you want to know what they have done, and you want to know how we got to where we are, read this book. This is a hell of a book about the whole beginning of the United States of this place, of the Americas. And everybody in that book know that there were millions of black people already here. And in the 14th century, they were Moors, because the Moors had set this society up. It was society all over this country set up by the Moors. And then the Spanish came in and defeated the Moors and took over this country before 1492. This was in like 1415, 1418, something like that. But that's when the Spanish defeated the Moors. And then after the Spanish defeated the Moors and enslaved them and did whatever they did with them, here comes the people on the ship with Columbus. And then they started killing them from both sides. 90% of the indigenous population were killed by disease. They were killed by bullets. They were killed by atrocities. They were killed by the labor. They were killed 90% within so many years, within a century, I think 50 years. And then these slaves, the ones that were slaves, some were brought from Africa, but many were brought from the outskirts of whatever cities they were in and put on the plantation. You could go to jail for the most minute thing. And the minimum sentence, if you dropped a piece of paper on the floor, the minimum sentence for that was 5 years. So you were placed in prison for 5 years for dropping a piece of paper on the floor. And why? Because it ain't about the truth. Because they were trying to put you back into slavery. That's what they did. Now, if you don't believe that, look at how the what they call them, black codes in the Jim Crow laws. And Jim Crow was basically a fictitious character where this white man would dress up in blackface and he would put on a show to, act like black people. Y'all, so Mr. Billy, I do it, so I get out there and get that shit done for you, son. All right. He would do stuff like that. And he did that kind of stuff to bring in an audience. And he did. It was a hit. So that's where Jim Crow developed, out of a stage play. As black people, man, I really want to say our biggest issue is deciding to do something. I mean, we sit on the damn porch on the nail forever. We got to get off that nail, and we got to do something. Now, there are hundreds of thousands of us who have plenty money. What are you doing with that? Whatever the hell you want to. It's your money. But my thoughts are there has to be a way to ensure the growth of our youth. And I fought for that for 20, 30, 40 years. And I'm still fighting for it. There has to be a way for our people, our children, to succeed in this country. And the way it is, I mean, I feel so bad. I leave my daughter, my granddaughters, my stepdaughters in this world, and and not make a difference. And they start to fall back into the slave mentalities that this country will be forcing down them. How can you live today and not realize that if you don't do something, our people are going to be back in slavery in 50 years. And we're going to be back in slavery because we are so apathetic about defending our rights and defending our cultures. We just say, fuck it, let that shit go. And that's what we're doing, man. We're not paying attention to what's actually happening here. They are adamant about getting rid of us. You don't see it. You don't know it. You think you can laugh and shoot the shit with Mr. Billy all day? Drink coffee with Mr. Billy? But Mr. Billy gonna drink coffee with you, but if they have to cut the budget, guess what? They gonna cut your black ass. I don't give a damn how white you act. You've seen it. I see it too. Black man go to work, and when he walk in the office, hey, how are you doing? Hey, Billy, how are you? Did you have a great weekend? This is a black man doing shit like this. But then when it's time to get laid off, man, them laid me off, man. You're the first one to want to call them that. But when the time was prime for you to be an active person in the destruction of the people taking money out of your community, you thought it was wrong. Man, leave them people alone. They got a right to make money. They do. But why is it that all the banks loan the money the moment they apply to set up in black neighborhoods? But you can't set up over here, but you definitely can set up over there. I had a thought just then. Why is it they want all these little small black communities to die? Because what? I don't know. I mean, I was looking at some stuff on YouTube, and I saw like 7 or 8 different cities, towns, full of black people, 98% black, but they all were dying. Every last one of those towns were dying. None of those towns were moving up. Like Mount Bayou, Mississippi. Mount Bayou, Mississippi was the first black hospital in the country. And it had black doctors, black nurses, and they had a very, very, very nice operation going on. I used to get taken over there for my healthcare issues. All of us went to Mount Bayou. We didn't call it there, we called it Mount Bayou. And you wonder why black people talk like that, Mount Bayou, because the less movement of your lips, the less likely are you to get caught talking. Because Mr. Billy didn't allow no talking sometimes. So we learn how to talk mostly without saying complete words, but our people understood the word. And if you don't think that that's a language, look up TUT, because that is our language today. It's called today. And black people speak this language. Some still speak it fluently, but we're so determined to assimilate into this society here and lose everything that we have, then we are wrong. We're losing. I don't want to lose my heritage. I don't want to lose connections with my ancestry, because to me, what it boils down to, if you can connect yourself with your ancestry, then you're something else. You're not what you're supposed to be, because you don't know who you are. I've heard people say, man, yeah, we can trace our heritage back to 1480, to the 13th century. Why is it that the Scottish can do it, the Koreans can do it, the Arabs can do it? Everybody can trace their lineage. The Mexicans can do it, can trace their lineage back hundreds of years. And I bet you, if you're in the sound of my voice, the only people, we can only go as far as, if we can go 100 years, we doing damn good. That's an 8 in the test. But we got a heritage before that, because think about it. We all, let's say some of us were here, but most of us were brought from, some of us were brought from Africa, but most of us were here. But in order to become the slave that they wanted you to be, so they can like mass produce you like cows and shit, you had to release where you came from. You had to let it go. You cannot be the person you were when you were in your other society. You had to become the person I want you to be. Because if you don't, that means you're subject to get rowdy with me. So I'm gonna beat your ass until I break you. And that was the objective, to break black men in order for them to forget any and every damn thing that they were doing back in their home country. They wanted to break you from that. And they went out of their way to break you from your heritage, to separate you from your ancestry. And you probably could feel it. I mean, I think back on that and I feel like you can feel it when your spirit lets go, because you've taken too much. You've taken too much pain to move forward. You've taken too much. You got beat into submission to let your ancestry go. Your language, you had to let it go. Your religion, you had to let it go. Your family, you had to let it go. Your name, you had to let it go. You all know Toby. Toby. You know Toby. You know Toby. I don't even have to talk about Toby. You know Toby. But they took that from us. And for 300 years, up until the Civil War, that was 300 years before the Civil War. So we get up to we did slavery for a long time. I mean, for a long time. So you want to talk about that bullshit that happened over in Germany for what, 6 months? That ain't shit compared to what these niggas had to go through. So don't tell me, I don't even know the name of that shit. People make me mad when they try to call our stuff what theirs is. It ain't even the same thing. Our stuff is 100 times worse. But yet you're trying to make it even with white folks. Well, I try my best not to use the F-bomb, but it'd be ready to come out, y'all. It'd be ready to come out. We've suffered the Holocaust. That's what they call it. The Holocaust over there ain't got shit on what we went through. So don't even come to me talking about we need to do something for the Holocaust. Fuck the Holocaust. Don't even try to call what we went through the Holocaust, because that ain't what the hell happened. These motherfuckers were put in a concentration camp. We were made to work for 300 damn years compared to their 6 months, and they got their more people know about them than what they know about us. Blacks, we best to come back at another topic I always think about. You ain't black. You ain't a Negro. You ain't even colored. Every time you say, well, we not the colored folk, they're the one the colored folks. If they get hit, they turn blue. If they do this, they turn red. If they do that, they turn black. Yeah, that's your fucking alibi for not addressing the damn elephant in the room. You're not black. You're not Negro. And you're not African American. What does that leave you to be? So you'll go around and say, oh, well, I'm an American. See, when they decided that the Civil War was over and that now we want to unite all the states again, again. So Lincoln and his Jackson, Johnson, whoever it was, they came up with a plan to bring the southern states back into the Union. So the first thing they did, they wrote in the Compensation Proclamation, which is the second one, that if you liberated a slave, then you would be compensated up to $10 per everyone you liberate. That U.S. federal government said that. You will be compensated for up to $10 per slave. $10 per slave now. They said that. And when they got through, when they liberated all the slaves, they changed their mind. And when they changed their mind, the white folks were saying, how the hell they gonna make us let all our slaves go? And then they're not gonna pay us. So they let all the slaves go. And then they wrote this into the Constitution now, the United States Constitution. Neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt incurred against the United States. Ain't that? Yeah. Or any claim for the loss of emancipation of any slave. All such debts shall be held illegal and void. And they were talking about the people that released those slaves. They not gonna pay them. We not gonna pay y'all. So them white folks mad as hell. They are mad. So they came up with the black codes. That's why they tried to do all this bullshit, this loophole to get all the black people back on the plantation. They locked them up, and then they had a minimum of 5 years, so they had to go. So they used the judicial system to lock those people up, and they locked up millions and put them back on the plantation. But then that ain't all. The people that fought for the Confederate, they had to be reunited and let back in the Union. So, and get this now, get this, you cannot be a citizen in this country unless you're born here, unless you're a native, or unless you take the oath of amnesty through naturalization. So all these people down south had really severed their relationship with the United States. So, but the United States said, we forgive you for all your atrocities. We forgive you. We want to unite all the states. That's what we want to do. So in order to do that, we're going to allow all y'all Confederates, over 200,000 people, come back into the Union so we can be a United States. That's what they do. So we can be a United States. So in order for you to come back, we can't just say, y'all, you in the United States now. You got to take the oath of amnesty. So all of those people had to take the oath of amnesty, to over 200,000, in order to be a citizen in America. Now these are folks that are white now. So the same thing applies to black people that act like that shit ain't real. And we've been telling you all along that it is real. You got freed off the plantation, and you think you're just gonna walk into the country and be a citizen? What the fuck is wrong with you to think like that? You had to do something. And that's what President Abraham Lincoln said in the Emancipation Proclamation #2, that black people had to do something in order to become a citizen. And what you have to do, my fellow Black and African American brothers, you got to take the oath of amnesty, just like the white folks did. But your ancestors didn't do it. So that leaves you as descendants in a vulnerable position to be a citizen or not. The U.S. can tell you you ain't a citizen and you can't do shit about it. The 14th Amendment don't make you a citizen unless you take the oath of amnesty. How many times I got to tell you that? You think the 14th Amendment give you citizenship. It tells you grant citizenship to all persons born and naturalized in the United States. That is not the damn answer. But everybody that are descendants of slaves has to take the oath of amnesty because your ancestors did not enter the United States the right way. So every descendant of that person, of our ancestors, are on the ledge of being a citizen or not. The U.S. can overturn that shit in a heartbeat. They can say you ain't no citizen. And you can't do shit about it because they can say your ancestors did not take the oath of amnesty, therefore you're a descendant of them. That makes you unqualified to be a citizen of the USA. It's simple. And you think it's all about the truth? It ain't about the damn truth. They can screw us any damn time they want and put us out of this country. Oh, they ain't gonna do that because we've been here too damn long. Don't get your damn facts messed up. They don't want you here to start with. But if you don't start to think about your children and their children on down the line, then we leaving them in the worst possible condition. The worst possible condition. We got time right now to fix this. You ain't too old to beg, and you ain't got to beg, to be honest with you. But you need to fix this situation, or it's going to haunt our descendants. It's going to haunt our descendants because you failed to do something. And knowing that it ain't about the truth, you can see what happened with Donald Trump. 34 counts of felony convictions. We've had people go to jail for an ounce of damn cocaine for 15 years. And there was a boy that got caught with something, he got life. A 20-some-year-old boy got caught doing something, he got life. He didn't kill nobody. He just a damn crime. Not no real serious crime either. But it was a felony and they gave him life. Black. You can imagine the whole concept of black people getting convicted to jail. And if you get arrested and you ain't got money to pay your bail, then your ass can sit in jail for over a year before they damn release you. So, I mean, it's so, they got a tool on every damn level to take you out as a people. And don't think they don't use it. You got to get down into these damn small ass counties, these small ass parishes where you got the sheriff walking around with a beer gut and this damn gun hanging down to his knee. When you go look at some of them places, some places where you scared to get gas at, some places ain't even got no damn gas station. When you go see them places and you see who running those places, then you gonna hurry up and get the hell out of there. Because you can get arrested real quick because you ain't no damn plantation Negro. They don't like people that ain't plantation Negroes in the South. They put those generals and those colonels and they made them governors and mayors, and they put in all statesmen, they senators and representatives. They put the Klan members and the Southern generals and the Southern colonels, all of them got a position like that. And then they ran the South. So what do you think they're gonna do? They're the slave owners. They wanted slavery. They fought to keep it. And now you giving them all the Southern states back? Man, they were so damn bad on black people. You could not learn to read. You could not be out after the sun go down. You could not have more than two of us in one place. I could go down a list that make you leave your mouth dropping because it's unbelievable how many laws they came up with just to get us under control. That's what they thought they were doing, getting us under control. control. Now, we all know about the First Amendment, right? On the First Amendment, it says we got the right to religion, speech, a couple other things. I ain't looking at it. But know it right now that that amendment was never ratified. All the other ones were, but from the other 26, because there's 27 amendments to the Constitution, but the very first one was never ratified. So when you think you got the right to speech, you got the right to religion, you got it twisted because you don't. You got nothing to say that you got a right to do until they ratify that first one. Pretty sad, but that's the truth. Don't forget that this is America and it ain't about the truth. And everything, if you building a house and you build your house on sand, eventually it's going to fall down because you never secured your foundation. This country was built on sand. And it may not fall in my generation, your generation, or 10 more generations, you know, and you can have the biggest, baddest tank in the fight, but there's something you're neglecting, because you can find another tank that's faster than you, can get to the side of you. I don't know if you saw the movie Tank. It was a Tank. I don't know what it was, but they all the tank fights. The small tank was beating those big German tanks because the German tanks were like 2 or 3 times size than American tanks. Them American tanks was fast as hell though, so they had to move real quick or they were gonna get messed up bad. So they could outmaneuver those tanks, and they beat them because of that. So America now is going into $1 trillion budget for a defense budget, which is a hell of a lot of money to put in defense. But if you think about the cost that Boeing charged for an F-15, you'd understand. Boeing wants about $2.6 million per airplane. 2.6 million. That's a lot. And them stealth bombers, you're talking about $800 million to build one. To build one plane. Ridiculous. And then you get one, maybe 2 pilots in there and let them crash. That's damn $1 million, 800. That's a couple of billion, almost $1 billion when you get through with that. It's 200 million, 400 million, 700 million. It's gone. Freedom of religion, speech, press, and assembly. That's what it is. It was never ratified. The Second Amendment, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That still stands. And you know, we do this broadcast just to pass on information and to make sure our people can get the latest knowledge about what's happening here. And I still would like to hold this book up again. And if you want a good read, I've read the book. If you want a good read, get this book. See if I can get it, stop it from there glaring. If you want a good book, get this book right here. This is a good book. And I think you'll be glad you did. And it talks about so many different things. It goes all the way back to like the 9th, 10th, 11th century. And it brings you back to the Indians, and it tells you how everywhere they stopped down in Brazil and Mexico, they ran into black people. All the way down to the tip of Venezuela, they ran into black people. Everywhere, it's all in that book. When they came up here, they ran into black people. This is before 12th, 13th century. That's a long damn time ago. Before 1492, when we were so-called discovered, the Spanish was already here. The Spanish was here. And the Spanish really are the ones who perpetuated the colonization of America. They did. The Spanish believed in triangle um, communities. The Moors had circle communities. So the Spanish and the Moors got into a fight because of that. And the Spanish won. They're the same ones that went to Haiti, that told Haiti, if you don't pay us for the next 100 years, we're going to beat y'all ass till the damn cows come home. So Haiti had been paying Spain billions of dollars for 100 years. That's why Haiti has caused so much hell getting this government together. Lord help us if we get a Donald Trump in office, because it ain't about the truth. It ain't about the truth. We broadcast every Wednesday. We try at 6, and again on Sunday at 3:30. And we broadcast with good information. Everything we put out here is about us being more knowledgeable about how this society works, because the voting time is here, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to get more people to register to vote, more black people. And you know, they full of shit on the news. Everybody wants to say the black vote, the black vote, black vote. Everybody want to talk about the black vote. They don't know shit about the black vote. And the people that they surveying full of shit because they ain't surveying the right damn people. But everybody talking about it right now. We got a long way to go, and we are very important society to this country. And that's why I've asked for years that on this day that we don't buy gas, we don't go into Walmart, we don't spend any money for one day out of a year. Don't spend money this day. Save your money on Juneteenth 2024. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of black people. The real voice of black people. This is from the desk of the emissary, broadcasting the war report. And we try to do this from a black point of view. And it seems to work. But we don't own the rights to any music, but we do own the rights to what we say. So don't forget to like us on Facebook and comment about the topic that you've listened to. Give me some feedback. You know, we appreciate your subscription to our YouTube page, BNN 247, the Black News Network. We definitely could use your support. We need you in viewing. Without further ado, this is the Black Network, the Black News Network, signing off.